You know, I haven't really... Oh. One denarius. I haven't really checked in here. I came in that one time and then I didn't really look around. Ooh. Where does this go? Oh. 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 Well, I'm obviously back... Oh. Obviously back down in those caves. Maybe this is how I'll get back into the palace. Who put this here? This is interesting. Oh, I can't fall off. Okay. That's good. That's kind of cool. I like caves. Oh my. Who are you? Hello.
Join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
Wait, do I know my name? Oh, yeah, right. I'm Arbitrary.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I found this place by accident.
Then perhaps the fates brought you here to learn the secrets of this place. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I've been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Oh, not yet.
You have much to learn. It's best if you figure it out on your own. Come back once you've made progress.
I'd really like you to tell me. Oh, yeah, all right. I thought it was Pluto. What's this? Greek plaque which translates to the many oh. This place is cool. I wonder if he is the god. The one responsible, I mean. Oh, man.
Ah, you've returned.
Uh-huh. Wait, that's where I came from. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I got all excited. Alright, well. I could maybe go skulk around Malleolus's place. What's this? Looks like somebody broke these on their way past. Greek statue of a woman, probably the goddess to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. Maybe it's her. Okay, well, let's go talk to some of these guys. I haven't talked to them yet. Oh, I forgot. I got that guy's key. No. Okay, well, if I want to save them, I can always just steal that and then restart.
Shiny.
That lady.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
My nation doesn't exist yet. I'm from beyond the edge of the known world. Yeah, let's do that.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
I like him. He's friendly. Let's see. What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Oh, why set up a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yeah, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that makes sense. Fair enough. Let's see. Oh, shoot.
You mean to say...
I think that just stops the conversation. See, I suppose so.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
See, that's what I thought he was going to start with. How'd you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Oh, why don't you tell me what you remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber? Sounds like you overdid it.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
He saw a guy. Very interesting. So I saw the woman. He saw a guy. The other lady, the baker, I don't think she saw anybody.
Anything you like.
Do you know way out of here?
Shh! Not so loud! What are you playing at?
Oh, sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
Ooh, the last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. It is a long story.
Let's see. Why don't you tell me?
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Oh wait, Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Oh, okay. Got it, thanks. What do you think about the golden rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Ooh, which one? Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about it? And I think maybe it's Hades.
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Sounds simple enough.
It does, doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Okay, who are you going to vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Oh. Anything I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
I'll be going now.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to pop down to the stranger and see if it's Hades. And then I think I'll go back to Sentius. I don't know, because every time something like that happens, where I have the option for a new suspicion, I don't know. Maybe I won't. But let's see if it's Hades real quick.
The one thing I long for about... Let us...
Oh, man. Okay, let's go talk... Let's go talk to this other guy.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did.
What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
I mean, I do actually. Tell me about the city's history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Isn't it common for Romans to copy Greek art and architecture? And that's true.
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
Tell me about the architecture.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm.
I wonder if that could be the way to get into the cisterns. If they bring water into the city, could we use them to escape?
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
I wonder if that's what the treasure is. Tell me about the temple up on the bluff.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Of course.
You know a way out of here.
You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Noviomagus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I think so, yes.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
Ooh. How do you remove a god from power?
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Okay, now I'm really interested. I noticed the graffiti. Why does someone think you're a sinner?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
You like men?
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
So I wonder... I think we've met everybody. So I wonder if there's somebody here that doesn't like that. I mean, technically, the Romans weren't as tolerant. You needed to be the man in the relationship. We'll just say that. If you weren't, they were not very tolerant. So technically, if that's his preference, it could be anybody, any of the Romans that don't like him. I'm sorry to hear that.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Let's see, do you know who's writing the graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Let's see, oh, I don't want to... Wait. I don't want to do this one right now, though. I'm sure it'll sort itself out.
Let's hope so.
Let's see. Who are you going to vote for?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
I'll be going now.
Nice to talk to you.
Okay. Well, oh, I had a thought while I was talking to him that maybe we could just like redo the thing with the bow. So let me go talk to this guy. Maybe I can get back in this way.
How'd you do? Hello there, friend. May I say, that is...
Yeah, no, oh well.
Very well.
Okay, I want to go up to the aqueducts and see... wonder if I can get into that. You know, I was on my way over here and it occurred to me that the steps that I made out of the plants might not be about the cisterns. It might just be one of the ways I could have gotten down from there. So I probably was going after the wrong thing. There's Sisyphus. I don't want to go that way. Okay, where's the cistern? Or aqueduct? Isn't it right here? Well, I can't jump off. Wonder if I need to go below. Hey. What? Really? Oh, I'm using... Wow. Well, here, let's... So where's the... Maybe I can't get into it because it goes along that way. Yeah, I have to get under the palace. Okay, I'm gonna head up there. Okay. So there was this place over here, but it was locked. So I wonder if I'll be able to get in with the bow. Yeah. I think I'm gonna need to find a way to get into the palace. Okay. Oops.
Salve, friend.
Okay. Seems somebody removed a plaque here. I'll need to find it to decipher the meaning of the obelisk. Well, I have one plaque. No. Where is it? Wait. Oh, yeah. Plaque bearing the Latin inscription, Pluto, Father of Riches. Wonder if I can... There it is. Okay, so I need to find more of those plaques. Interesting.